Hey everyone, welcome back to My Buddy's Backlog. Thanks for joining us for episode 4. I'm Ryan, and I'm here joined with Matt and Gavin. And how's it going, guys? How are you feeling today? Go ahead. I didn't like that. Can we start over? You got me freaked out on the clinical.
Go ahead.
Back up. Go ahead. You can speak.
I feel like we should just leave this. This is funnier than anything else.
It's hilarious.
I mean, we could just
to answer your question, Ryan, I'm doing great now that you've given me permission to speak. So we're finally getting some rain, which is kind of nice, honestly. You go too long without rain, you worry about it. But, work's been good. Life's been good. Playing as much games as I can, but I'm also functioning on like 4 hours of sleep today. So, we'll see what happens after we're done here.
That's crazy. I can't. That's not enough sleep. I can't operate like that. But
Yeah, it doesn't compute.
How are you doing, Gavin? What you got?
I'm good. Not much going on. I heard you guys had an eventful Saturday though while I was on vacation.
Yeah, we let's see, me and Matt met up at a local card gaming shop, retro games, kind of everything. They have a bunch of different stuff. Matt's obviously the big collector, so he was going to go. What, were you going for a specific game or something?
Not for a specific game. I've been like reorganizing, updating the insurance on the collection, this whole rigmarole, and pulling duplicates out that maybe I had a complete or not fully complete in box game, didn't have the manual, so I've gotten one with the manual or added manual. So anyways, long story short, I was taking duplicates to go use for trade credit or trade towards stuff I may want, right? I don't try to, I'm not trying to be one of these weird people who have like 6 copies of the same game,
That's what's weird, not the fact that you have every PS1 game in existence.
I wish. Now I do have multiple, I have 15 copies of Resident Evil 2 on the PS1, but that was because I yard sell a lot, and every time I would see them, I was like, come here, baby, daddy, I'll protect you. Come home with Maddie where you're safe.
You can't just leave them out to the elements.
So that one is kind of an issue, but I'm not like, I got like 15 copies of like Rule of Rose or Haunting Ground or these like, $600+ games. So yeah, but anyways, so I was going there. I texted Ryan on a whim to see if he wanted to come either ride with me or meet up out there, and so he met me up out there, but it always turns into an adventure because I know the owner pretty well. And so we get there, and obviously I do the trades. We're having some back and forth talking, and he's kind of getting to know Ryan a little bit too. And so Ryan's more of a card game guy, right? You play a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon.
Yeah, I play a little bit of Pokemon. I play a little bit of Commander, Magic the Gathering with some friends. So I actually I knew some of the other people at the card shop from like Pokemon, from where they had told me I'm bad at the game and need to change my ways, and I did not listen to them.
And then you were correcting your ways. I heard you telling him like, yeah, you were right. I shouldn't have played this. Yeah,
he told me to not play a certain deck when I went to the regional competition, and I was like, you can't tell me what to do. I can handle it. And
that actually revealed to me, and you did miss this, Gavin, that we were sitting in the presence of somebody who's went to regionals.
I didn't know I was in the presence of greatness.
Pretty big deal. Yeah, I keep that under wraps. Not anymore. It's out to the public. But so I got to meet Matt's friend. So now I know everybody, all angles of the card shop.
They had just done some upgrades because they do a ton of cards through there. And so they had just gotten like these gigantic sorters. They said they were like almost 30K a piece. And he was just like, hey, you want to see them? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then let Ryan go back there with us as well.
Yeah, I got to glob on and go as well. And it was super fun getting to see the card sorters in the back. You said 30K for one of those. I mean, they were gigantic.
3 of them or something like that.
Yeah, I asked them if as a service I could just pay them and they'd sort my nightmare box of cards, and they were like, we can, but at that point you might as well just pay your buddy to do it because we're going to charge you much more.
Right.
Economy of scale's not there. But.
So yeah, and then I picked up a couple of games, got the Suffering 1 and 2 on PS2,
and then
super cool horror games, but.
In an unbelievable turn from episode 3, we were talking about a game called Sunset Riders. It was the first game I brought up. I played it on the Genesis, but Matt had told me there was a 4-player arcade variant, or that was the original, I guess. And out of the 6 arcade games they had in that store, it was one of them. They had Sunset Riders.
4-player Sunset Riders.
Let's go.
In the corner.
So I got I was just going to say I got to boot it up and go fight the fat banker. It's just like I remember. When he dies, he's like, bury me with my money.
I saw it before I pointed it out to you. I didn't realize they had it. I don't know if they had it the last time I was there or not. And I was like internally trying not to be too hyped on the fact that it was there and I was going to get to point it out to you because we're in like a public store, right? And I just was like, Ryan! Yeah. Oh my God!
I had no idea what you were about to show me because I was looking at cards or whatever, and he came over and he was like, come with me. I'm going to show you something.
And then it inspired me to, on top of picking up the Suffering 1 and 2, to go ahead and bite the bullet and buy Sunset Riders on the Super Nintendo. Which is a spendier one. It was a little cheaper than I think I had alluded to. I think that I had said it was like 150.
Yeah.
In the episode we did, it was a little bit cheaper than that. Not a lot of bit, but a little bit. And then I had some credit, right? So that helped out. Nice. So
I'm trying to hook it up to your like retro gaming to regular PC situation. We can get on the stream. We can do a full playthrough.
There it is.
Does it have multiplayer?
It does, but only 2-player on
unfortunately,
the console ports. I did look that up, and they didn't never do a 4-player port on anything.
They didn't? Oh, okay.
So
bummer.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It was still just a spur-of-the-moment adventure that turned into a moment we'll cherish forever.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to actually go, all three of us, and actually play Sunset Riders. We can maybe rope a fourth in just to do that.
Yep.
Because I didn't actually play with him. I was over looking through the games. I kind of got locked in on like game hunting for a minute, and I had to text him and be like, "Oh, yo, did you leave? My bad. I zoned out."
Wow, just left him there to dry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he got sucked in, but yeah, it was fun. They've got a new location, and it's like way bigger, and they've got a ton of games and stuff. It's a really cool store, but yeah, we had a good time. Well, I guess that being said, we can move maybe into the news. Before we go into the news, I was going to mention Matt's having kind of an internal crisis from one of our earlier episodes and a piece of information that turned out to be incorrect. So I'm going to throw to him to let him clear his conscience, get everything out.
So there's probably a lot of things I've said wrong in relation. Actually, there are other things. So I had mentioned the Lion King and Aladdin games, and Interplay being the company that had developed those. And this is all in relation to, if you want to hear us talk about that in episode 3 and tied to Ryan's gaming history, right? It was actually Virgin Interactive who went on to, they have an airline or had an airline and did cell phones as well. But I digress. On that one. The big one is, obviously, with Sunset Riders. Now I've had the chance to replay it. It was actually a Konami game. So, just wanted to correct that instead of saying it was Sunsoft, because Konami fans are very feral and would have come for my throat if anyone listened to the show.
Yeah.
So
our copious amounts of hate mail. Can everybody calm down, because
send the hate mail anyway.
Yeah.
It has been corrected. But all right. So with that being said, we can go ahead and move on to the news. And the first thing we have on here that we can talk about is there's a bunch of stuff going on with From Software games and TV and film. I guess I'll just jump right in. The first one I want to talk about is the Elden Ring live action movie, and there's a bunch of well, I guess there's only one big update, but we've got a bunch of stuff written down about this guy. I guess is the new news that Alex Garland is directing it? Or
no, that was
already out.
Yeah.
The bigger news was like just some of the set stuff's leaked. So we've seen a picture of America. So we know that she's in it in some form or fashion, whether it's flashback, and then the biggest thing.
Hot?
And
in the picture?
I mean, she's me. Cute petite blonde girl, if that's your thing, then yeah.
All right.
More of a brunette guy, but and then the loathesome dung eater, who was hot as hell.
I was about to say, I thought you were playing the dung eater. Right?
Is in it. So,
under NDA, you can't say that.
So it does probably allude to that it's right before shattering, post shattering. Probably doesn't look like it's going to be any like major departure like some of the stuff we had maybe kind of speculated about. I don't know if we did it off or on the air with some of that.
I can't imagine if they like actually have a voiced America being like, no, I'm going to shatter the Elden Ring. It's just, I don't know, man. There's some red flags. Hopefully she's like just pictured, but not
I feel like you got to be delicate too with the America Radigan stuff.
That's true.
And do it right and not be disrespectful at the same time, right?
Yeah, From Soft is gender affirming, confirmed.
Yeah. So just something, but the big thing is like with Garland, we did look a little bit more into him.
I was about to say, I don't think we talked about all this, right? Like last time.
Yeah. We talked a little bit because Gavin just was like kind of familiar with a couple of the things he had done. Like I think you had maybe Annihilation or something.
I mentioned Annihilation and Civil War because that's what immediately come to mind. But I can't believe I missed out on Hereditary and Midsummer.
Gotcha.
Is that right? Both of those.
So
yes,
I think they're his. I know A24 is tied to those.
A24. Oh yeah.
So he may be tied to those too.
Yeah.
So, but like all of his credits are pretty well tied to A24 projects and some. So he's done a lot of more writing than he has done directing still too. He's written a lot more for film than he has directed.
Let the record show that Ari Aster was the director for Midsummer.
Oh, there you go. You don't even have to correct it next time. But then he's actually got his hands in games, or had his hands in games. So he worked as a co-writer on Enslaved Odyssey to the West, right? Which was a 2011 game. It's about the, following like the journey to the West. The most recent thing would have gotten tied to that would have been the Black Myth Wukong game, right? Yeah. In fact, some could even say is that the path that they were taking towards the return end of Sekiro. We'll touch on that briefly too here in a minute.
Yeah.
Isn't like the good ending that?
Yeah, that's like the ending that I think takes the most. Well, no, Purification I think takes the most. That doesn't
kill you.
Yeah. So.
I gotta be honest, guys. I didn't realize there were different endings in Sekiro.
Ryan actually never beat Sekiro.
I beat it once, and that was enough, and I was done, and I shut it down. I
gasp. So yeah, Garland also was tied to he co-wrote the 2013 Devil May Cry game DMC, which was the weird reboot of the franchise that combat-wise has, until 5 count out, the best combat that series has ever had, and that's saying something because the series has great combat, but the hard turn to not make Dante be kind of funny.
Oh, they made
more serious and like edgelord boy.
I don't know anything about the Devil May Cry series, really, honestly.
He may cry.
I know, like, so the combat system, you're saying they changed it. I can only picture playing it once at like a cousin's house, and it was very like beat 'em up, and I remember throwing somebody up in the air and then continuing to combo them and hit them. Like, is that class in both of them? Or
that's in both.
Okay.
Just more refined.
So what did they do that changed it? They just refined it. They didn't
no,
change
it was just refined and just like really good in that game. But like the story and all the things they changed from that perspective, like people hated.
Gotcha.
Actually, very much liked that game, but I get the complaints.
My ego is too fragile to play the DMC games. I played Bayonetta, and like the fact that it graded me on every level. Spoiler alert! I got stone on every one. I'm so mad, man.
Yeah, you got to play DMC. Get
my
that
weak mind couldn't take
sexy style.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then he's done that. He's written for games that are both considered decent games in their different regards. He won a writing award for one, and then he also apparently has like beaten Elden Ring several times, so he's like kind of a gamer. That doesn't mean that it's gonna be worth a shit.
But did he beat pre-nerf Radon?
Yeah, I don't think
PCR.
I think
only gets the gamer badge if he beat it.
Credentials are in question.
Did Ryan even do that?
Yeah, we said we all did.
We all have done that. Okay.
Previous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry that I'm coming for you.
Matt has been. I'm so glad you're back from vacation, Gavin. Matt has really been on my ass this last week. Every time we've eaten lunch and stuff, he's like coming after me.
In fact, 2 days ago we had lunch and I like apologized. I was like, "Hey, I promise that pretty soon I'm not gonna say something douchey to you."
We were talking about the podcast about what a decision we were gonna make, and I was like, "Oh, in my opinion, I think it comes off this way." And he was like, "Yeah, but you're like really neurotic, so that doesn't really count."
Pot calling the kettle black much? Shit.
But I'll have you know, on Radon, Prime Consort Radon, pre-nerf, I beat him in 4 tries. First.
That's true.
Attempt,
we bow in your aura.
Don't come for me.
Been to Pokemon regionals, beat PCR in 4 tries.
I've done it all, people.
Damn, what are you doing here right now?
I know. You guys are lucky to be able to credit me with this podcast as a co-host. But other than the Elden Ring live action movie, I guess in the From Software, I'm all confused now. I don't know what we've talked about and what we haven't. I've got Bloodborne, the animated film with Jacksepticeye, is producing. Is that the new information, Jacksepticeye, or did we not talk about that?
No, it hit after we recorded episode 2, like literally that night.
Oh, gotcha.
So we talked about it in our Discord together. But so Jacksepticeye is producing, which a producer just kind of keeps shit on schedule for the most part and on track and make sure things don't get too wily. So, but who the hell cares? I mean, I guess, like, I know he's a very popular streamer. He seems like a nice guy. He's very charitable. I'm not talking shit on him. But the fact that it was, like, revealed with that as, like, kind of an attached tag thing, and I know we're in the world of, like, influencers.
Right. You got to have attach a name of an influencer.
I'm sorry, but what the fuck? Like, after 10-plus years of fucking all, as far as news or any, like, development with the Bloodborne IP, we're getting an animated film produced by a content creator? Did Sony sign off on that?
Yeah. Sony's. So it's all through Sony's, like, entertainment wing or whatever.
So at this point, they're just sticking the middle finger to FromSoft and Miyazaki.
No, this is the thing that gets us hyped up. We're going to get our 60 FPS.
Gavin, you're kind of pissing me off. You're right. We still don't have a 60 FPS patch, and we're doing
Get the pitchforks.
It's weird,
we'll
though,
show
because...
them damn beasts.
Yeah. No, it seemed like I mean, we don't know, but if you read between the lines of like the Blue Point comments that they made after Sony announced that they were closing Blue Point, basically that what they had pitched the idea of a Bloodborne remake. Sony said no. FromSoft said Sony said yes. FromSoft said no. Right?
Something like that.
Perhaps. It seems like maybe. So, like, reading between the lines, it seemed like maybe Sony wanted to respect the relationship they had with FromSoft and with Miyazaki, but then to just make an animated film, I don't know, with his magnum opus, it seems a little...
I do think that going in animated film is the one way I'll accept.
It is better than live action. That's fair.
Like, they're not going to have the budget. They're not going to do good practical effects if they did live action. For some reason, CGI sucks ass now compared to when... everyone talks about, like, Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones, how, like, that still looks amazing for today's CGI, and it's like kind of crazy, right?
Yeah,
because like all kinds of shit sucked, even like Marvel movies with their CGI. So I think it could be really cool from that. Just the weird tagging, like I guess it's just living in that weird world where like influencers matter so much more to people. I guess at the same time, I guess if they would have said. Beyonce's doing the soundtrack, I would have equally been like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know, but millennials know who Beyonce is better than Jacksepticeye.
I don't know. It's strange.
So, but yeah, apparently it is going to be like bloody and gory, and I don't know really story-wise, is it just going to be, it would almost be cool if like it was just silent protagonist Hunter just going through and just fighting and just like hyper-graphic, a hard 90 minutes,
just a straight action
fight,
no thinking,
like walk in and some dude's talking mad shit and damn beast, and then just like the Hunter.
That was pretty good. Yarnamite
saw
impression there.
Sitting on that.
You want to hear me do the pig?
Yeah. Well, hold on, let me get my visceral strike ready.
Well, and I guess. Well, did you have something else to say on that?
I just feel like to put a. Well, we can talk about Sekiro though first. Let's go ahead.
Okay, yeah, that's the next thing I was going to jump into, which is related kind of. We've got Sekiro No Defeat, which is the anime by Kenichi Katsuna, I believe. And if I'm reading this right, is Kenichi a writer or producer or like for One Punch Man, these shows we have on here?
Yeah, he actually did some of the animation apparently.
Okay.
And, One Punch Man, specifically Season 1, has some of, like, the greatest animation ever. Naruto Shippuden, super famous. And then Bleach is, like, some people would argue or put it on, like, the Mount Rushmore for, like, from an anime perspective. Right. At least the millennial Mount Rushmore before we even remotely open that can of worms if somebody wants to have that fight. So, So I think, again, I think that I'm more worried about the live action Elden Ring than animated, I guess, Sekiro or Bloodborne. I think those are
really
paths that are fine forward for the most part. I don't really want to see them in live action either, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on that same page. I think it's harder to pull off by a tremendous amount doing a live action anything like a fantasy, like a gaming thing IP that you're trying to bring to life. It's easier in animation,
There's also like, do we know, does From Software own, they got Sekiro back, right?
I know Activision helped them produce it, but
so I think
that one's they own their IP on that.
Okay, but they don't on Bloodborne.
Correct.
Or Demon's
all of our
Souls.
dismays.
I don't
Correct,
think.
Yes.
So, I don't know, maybe this is going to push towards potentially getting the continuation, because who knows if we'll actually ever get the Sekiro sequel that I dream of.
You think this might
like maybe,
drum up enough hype for a sequel?
Or
even a DLC?
Will we go through follow the return ending or whatever? The like main more canon ending where it does end, spoilers for Sekiro, end with the option of like, it seems like Kuro and Sekiro, Wolf, I guess, Wolf are gonna make their journey west, and like that ends like with them like, oh, let's go west or something like that, and that's the end of that ending. So like, then would season 2 do that and give us that, and are people from Farm Software in the writers' room with this?
From a game's perspective, I could almost see them doing a prequel, like, because the whole thing with the Dragon's Heritage, is that what it was called? Like, was that all of this had happened before, right? And in game, you're like finding the texts and the lore, and there are a lot of people in universe that are referenced but never depicted. So we all thought, hey, the DLC is going to be in the past, right? Because FromSoft loves doing that. Like, DS1, you go fight Artorias; Bloodborne, you go fight old hunters, so on. But I don't know. I'd love a Sekiro sequel, man.
I would too.
Anything for that.
There are like days where I sometimes go, I want Bloodborne to get a 60 FPS patch or like updated, just it normal before anything else.
I need it so bad.
And then I only want a Bloodborne sequel if From's doing it. Correct. I mean, that's kind of the way I feel about Sekiro too. But like, there's sometimes I'm like, man, I may want the Sekiro sequel more than the Bloodborne sequel. That doesn't mean I like Sekiro more than Bloodborne. But I'm just very happy with the Yharnam and everything we have.
I see.
At the same time, I'm happy with Sekiro. It's just, and I fell off Sekiro. I actually got to the Guardian Ape, beat him, put the game down, and didn't come back till 2 years later. Did a full replay through, and then did like the grinded out the platinum trophy.
And now, didn't you say it's like your favorite one of like the FromSoft games?
Yeah,
like,
no, it would be Bloodborne, Sekiro.
Oh, Bloodborne first. Okay,
gotcha. So.
Well, that would be really cool. I don't know. I honestly, I'm so fuzzy on the stories of like, I'm so bad with the lore of the FromSoft games. I don't know. I'm like a bad example of not actually paying attention and just being there for the vibes and the aesthetic and the difficulty of it all.
But you don't have to pay attention. That's one of the best parts.
That is like my favorite part of it. But
that's why you got me and Gavin.
That's why I have you guys. I can just listen to the pod.
That's exactly why I think, though, like, these are not going to make good cinematic experiences, right? Because there is no narrative in these.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to really just, like, go in universe and tell a story.
I guess I don't.
If they did, like, Gurman and the First Hunters, and that would be interesting, I guess.
I guess Sekiro's probably got the most that you can just glean from the playing of the game, and that's, you still got to kind of listen to the NPCs and what they say or the shit they talk when you're having fights with them heavily there.
And it still kind of sucks. Like, the story in Sekiro is kind of whatever.
As long as they animate dude jumping in the air and catching the lightning and throwing it back, that's all I need. Absolute cinema.
Absolute. I just need some fan service. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how they deal with that as well. Did you have a capping point to the Sekiro discussion that you started to say a second ago? Before
it was just that. That I don't know how they're going to pull this off if they try to follow the quote unquote narrative of the games at all.
Yeah.
Well, I guess last movie video game news. I'm probably just immediately going to throw this one to Matt because it's his kind of shit. But we've got the Zach Kreger Resident Evil movie. Had its title card and its release date revealed, which is apparently September 18th, 2026. I don't know much about this movie coming out, or really, I don't know that I've seen a Resident Evil movie, so I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Matt.
So, obviously, Paul W.S. Anderson had the rights and did all those Resident Evil movies that we would have grown up with, and they all fucking suck, except for the first one's okay, some of the callbacks are fine in the second one, and then it's all just doo-doo, but the main character that follows, that they integrate with the story of the games, is just a made-up fictional character that he made up so that his wife could be the main character in the films, and then she plays Alice, Mila Jovovich.
Okay.
Who I definitely had a crush on.
But the character from the movies is not in the games?
No, yeah, Alice has never existed. It's a whole thing. And then there was Welcome to Raccoon City a few years ago,
right?
Which was low budget, but they did a lot of just stupid shit in that too. And like, there's one part where Lisa Trevor, character from the first game, fights a licker, but it's like a Street Fighter style fight. I don't know. It was a very weird thing. So all the movies have sucked. The CGI movies are goofy, but a lot better, and those are canon. So, but Zach Kreger, he's had some hits with like Barbarian and
when you say
Weapons.
CGI, you mean like totally animated movies?
Yeah.
Okay,
Totally
gotcha.
animated CGI movies. So he's had some hits with Barbarian and Weapons. Zach Kreger has.
Zach Kreger is Barbarian and Weapons? Okay,
Yeah, he's directed those. And he's also played a lot of games. He's apparently a big fan of Resident Evil. Again, that doesn't mean jack shit, really. But it's like going to follow the outbreak in Raccoon City and kind of hit around like the 1998 when that happens. But apparently he's not going to follow like Leon or Jill or Chris. Like, if you think about it, this town falls into peril. There's lots of people in a fucking full city, right?
Yeah.
Trying to escape the situations. The nightmare monsters are just loose in the town.
Right. We've got a pretty narrow and weirdly specific view of the event. Like, we don't really know of the generic people and everything, like like regular people trying to escape. Sorry, go ahead.
And we like know from like Outbreak that there were more survivors than just our heroes in the games. We know from Requiem because people that went on to then die of the Raccoon City syndrome that they reveal in that game, and they revealed that through the trailers or whatever, right?
Right.
They were survivors of Raccoon City, but they also weren't like our survivors from Outbreak. Like, those are just new names of characters that got out in time. Because Raccoon City gets effectively like missile striked at the end of Resident Evil 2. Right, and so that was the big return to Raccoon City with Requiem. That's why it was such a big deal, and people were divisive because people thought it was a nuke for so many years, and it wasn't. It was just like a crazy missile barrage. Like,
I don't know why I'm mixed. I feel like in my mind it was a fire bombing, but I think that's 28 weeks later is what I'm getting mixed up with. But
maybe. Yeah. So, anyways, we'll see. The title card, though, it just says Resident Evil or whatever, but it is like in the font of RE2 remake and stuff. So we'll see.
Surely Leon will make a cameo, or not cameo, but make an
almost
appearance somewhere.
I almost wonder if it'll be like the person trying to escape and be like, "Oh, there's a cop down there," and it's just like pretty boy cop like running or fighting some zombies off, and like that's it. Like, just keep it simple.
That would be enough. Yeah, that would work.
Because like, can you make them cross paths when they never cross paths? Probably not, because Resident Evil fans are fucking crazy. As a huge Resident Evil fan,
I was about to say, you would know.
Listening to you, yeah, I'm a half fan. I'm not quite your level. You're crazy with your amount of knowledge of the lore and how it all ties together.
I would still fuck up like a date or a virus before another virus, and if I had any clout, someone would come from my throat over that in the deep fandom. So, but yeah, that's all I got for that.
All right. Well, I guess moving on. Kind of in some depressing news. This is I don't know how legitimate this is. We've been talking about this as a rumor, but it was kind of verified through a support chat. We saw the PlayStation DRM 30-day window of like buying online games in, I guess, March and later of this year. Supposedly is going to have a window of time where you have to reconnect your PS5 to the internet to revalidate the license for your digital content. I believe that kind of sums it up, right? Have you guys seen anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like people were thinking that, well, maybe it was a software bug or something, but then PlayStation support apparently confirmed it to several users. I don't know, man. That's just super depressing, and that Sony would just kind of do that without announcing, and just so sucks to suck if you bought something recently on the PlayStation Store and you're hoping to play it on a like forever offline machine, which people have, right? Like maybe you put this in a second home or whatever. It just sucks for owning games. That's one of the great advantages of having a console. Now the disc drive costs more, so you're more incentivized to go digital, but if you do, you really don't own it. So
yeah, and I mean that then spins in the conversation of like how they don't have to disclaim on a PlayStation 5 game if it's just like 10 gigs on the disc, and then the rest is still going to have to be downloaded on the back end. I mean, they'll put like online required, which kind of gives you a hint or whatever. I say that because people make a big stink about the Switch game cartridges versus actual games on the cartridge versus you can buy a case with a damn code in it, which is asinine as hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's like at least they put like game key card on those Switch cartridges, so you know that it is just a key that checks that download and does the handshake, right, and lets us access it. But yeah, it's just like this push to not let people fucking own anything fully and just have your shit. Like, just let me have my game. I gave you the money. Leave me the fuck alone. Like,
yeah, it really is never ending. It feels like we're trending that direction overall. I mean, like, console gaming with disc is really one of the last kind of bastions of that, I would think. I mean, as a PC gamer, I'm used to it. You know, like my whole Steam library is just digital. Me and Gavin were actually talking about right before we started recording how, you know, you can't transfer your Steam account after you pass away. You know, it's like there's no way to...
Can't be like an inheritance. Like, you can't assign it to...
Whereas, like, I could give you a game, you know, like it could be yours if I just give you a disc.
Yeah.
I could sell it to you, but I can't do that with a digital copy.
Whereas, like, at least my kid's got a couple $100K and...
Right.
But, yeah, it's so weird. And then, like, people want to goof on I think there are a couple of guys who have actually started a lawsuit against Nintendo over the tariff stuff, and like, well, if you're not paying the tariffs, you raised our prices and are fucking us over, saying it was the tariffs, and like trying to like say, well, you nickel and dime owe money back and yada yada yada. I don't think it's going to go anywhere from that, but I'm a fan of any legislation that just makes these fuckwads have to say what they're doing. That's the thing. Like, there's no point, and there's no point, as I have it out there, having the disc for Crimson Desert. And it's just like habitual for me to buy them, honestly, at this point with a lot of stuff.
Oh, you have to be online to play it?
Yeah, but like there's like 10 gigs of that on that disc, and then 100 gigs required for a download of part of it.
Yeah, I guess you're so saying that, big. But like that doesn't matter. I mean, in my mind, that almost doesn't matter that much because you still, like, having the disc gives you the right to download the rest, right? Whereas, like...
Yes, but eventually...
As long as the servers are alive.
Eventually, that will not be alive.
I see.
To do.
Yeah. I guess I was thinking in terms of, like, a giving ownership to another person. Like, I can give you the disc, and it's still yours. But that does make sense.
Yeah, I didn't spin it off, I guess, from your point very clearly. But yeah, so... It kind of becomes that same thing. Like, you know, if I die in 60 years, then those servers are going to be well shut down.
Right.
As opposed to, if I got a PlayStation 1 game, it's that game that came out. It's all there. Now, I know we got the luxury of patches that come with that, right? A big example of that is like Days Gone. Reviewers reamed the shit out of that game. By the time the public got it, they got a day one patch, and it was like a flawless game for me. Like,
yeah, it is tough because there is a trade-off. I mean, there's a lot of games like that, right, that were like, I mean, really bad upon... It's just a trend, I guess, in game development now to release the game and then fix it later. But the ones that come to mind are like No Man's Sky. You know, they've like made a completely different game. Cyberpunk 2.0, exactly.
I played that at launch on PS4, boys. And
on a PS4.
That was wild.
Oh, yeah.
It was hilarious, though, at the same time.
Yeah, I have to imagine that was pretty rough. I don't... they've done so much work on that game, it's crazy. But
that's a good point. So there's no way to like archive like a patched game, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
like if you were to take that Cyberpunk disc in a few years, you're just at, like delete your save and everything, and reinstall the game. You're just at the liberty of Sony essentially relying on them to host that patch. As long as they want,
and not be like, no, we're done. It's too expensive. There's not enough like justification for things hitting,
which will happen eventually, right?
Yeah,
eventually they're not going to keep supporting PS4 games, right?
Right. I mean, that kind of swings back to like the non-console. With the console, you're super locked in. Whereas, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's probably ways around it, but you know, we have all these emulation devices for consoles for 30 years ago, so you get some archival and preservation from people ROM hacking and you know, emulators. Like there will be a PS5 emulator in like 30 years or whatever, and
not even. I mean, right? There's already a PS4 one.
Yeah, is there a PS4 one?
Yeah, you can play Bloodborne at 60 FPS. It is almost there.
That's pretty sweet. That's a pretty good. Isn't that a PS3 emulator though?
PS4.
Are you sure?
Yep, 100% sure. I bought a PS4 for Bloodborne.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I knew the Switch one was like pretty, you know, like the Yuzu or whatever. Yeah. But anyways, the archival of like, I mean, you wouldn't have all the patches throughout time and how it's evolved. So I mean, that's a tough thing either way.
Yeah.
Well, how does like Steam and like PC game stores do it? Like, if a game has ever shipped on Steam, do they guarantee that they'll still host the patches and everything when you download like something in your library? You're guaranteed to always get the latest version?
You always get the latest version. I mean, I've never run into them not having. I mean, like they do a pretty good job. I think because it's only one library they have to maintain. I mean, I downloaded like Fallout 1, like the original game, not long ago, which is like that's like a 80s or 90s game or something, right?
I don't know, late 80s, I think. Was the first one.
So. I mean, they've got the content on there. They don't really do, like, you can't go back in patches normally. Like, you just have the latest version. Sometimes there's some games that have different, it's up to the developer, but they can have, like, different channels of, like, software releases where you could go to the beta branch of the dev branch, or you could go to the, back of
even just hearing you talk about it right now, that is not the common man's approach to being able to do that.
What do you mean?
Sorry,
we are all a lot more tech savvy than most.
It's actually not really hard or anything on the Steam one. It's pretty common. You see it on the forums and stuff because you just like right click it and you're like change, which version of the game you're running. But you are right. It is buried in the settings a little bit. So
there's already the barrier to entry
for
with
sure.
PC gaming.
I mean, getting games running on a
tuning
PC takes a computer science degree. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and so who knows? It's just. I know every company just wants you to have to keep buying into their ecosystem or paying them monthly money, and it's just so depressing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. Well, hey, maybe this is the turning point in the console wars because our next update on the news list has Xbox going the other direction. They're reducing the price of Game Pass. They're consumer friendly once and for all. They're sticking it to the PlayStation.
So I do have to point out that I heard this, and I know the answer to this, but... do you guys ever remember a subscription service of any sort lowering its price? Now, not running a special.
Only during promotions.
Yeah. Hulu lowered their prices when Netflix announced a rise in theirs at one point as like come to us. We lowered our prices slightly, like several years ago.
Yeah.
And then since they've just both been going through the roof. In fact, the Netflix went up again recently.
Netflix, I feel like, is aggressive.
I told my wife, I was like, finish this trash show that you're watching and we're done with that one. We're done with it. Like, we've got to pull the cord on that. It's like over $22 for 4K Netflix or whatever.
That's crazy.
So,
but I've never. I mean, I didn't know the Hulu, but like you do not hear about them reducing the prices. That's some pretty bad backlash.
It's desperate. Yeah.
So, but with it, we lose Call of Duty day one. Again, I think it's already been mathed out. Like that couple of dollars though, if you add it over the 12 months, it comes out to that same amount of money. So just buy your Call of Duty, you've spent the same amount of money on Game Pass,
or spend your money on a better game.
Yeah, exactly.
There's that too.
There are people talking about. I talked about it, and then y'all told me you should have saved it for the pod, and I realized I never said it when we talked about all this stuff previously. Everyone's like, "Are they going to just start doing an a la carte where I can get like 3 premium titles with my Game Pass? Do I get access to like all the original Xbox titles and like half of the 360 games, or then can I pick, or can I get a coupon at the end of every year that I'm subscribed to completely purchase one full game? Like little incentivized things like that. Like Nintendo does some coupon type stuff on the eShop.
Okay.
Who knows? But it's a trend in the right direction from where they were. I mean, raising that price to $30 was fucking bananas.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's like crazy high. It was like, it just felt like they were just saying like, well, fuck it, kill us. Like,
yeah, and
we
like
give up.
Things were already not going great for them. Yeah, in the news cycle, that was a big jump, and like that's coming from somebody. I had Game Pass for a long time, and I was like, okay, $1 increase, a $2 increase, whatever. Like, but jumping to $30, I was like, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not. I haven't even really been using it, but. And the Call of Duty inclusion was like cool, but not worth like you're literally saying like you could buy Call of Duty for the amount they jumped up. But
we talking about that. But the point, and Gavin, you kind of highlighted this one, was the rebranding thing, right?
Yeah, I know everyone's really concerned about the fact that everybody at Xbox changed their email domain to be at xbox.com, right? So. That really signifies that we're moving in the right direction. I don't know. There's been a lot of vague commitments to like the Xbox ecosystem and enabling people to build games that just kind of run on whatever device is running this would-be ecosystem. But the thing is, like, they've already shipped some kind of like software layers for the ROG Ally and some of those devices, and they're just terrible. Like Valve has taken how many years to build essentially what is SteamOS, and has really nailed it. And Microsoft hasn't. Like, I've seen no inclination that they can do something similar. So when it comes to Project Helix and the next console and the ecosystem, I'm like, I'll see it when I see it. I don't know.
I really need to install SteamOS on something. You two have both
I will.
been impressed
that
with
or
it at the very
Bazite, yeah.
least.
Bazite's good. We got to back up a second because the Ally's pretty good. The ROG Ally is kind of dope.
Handheld monsters.
I have recently moved to Bazite because it is a lot easier quality of life wise. But if you're trying to play like Fortnite or something with like the multiplayer, but a lot of people are. And if you're trying to play, you have more power on Proton's getting pretty good nowadays to where the emulation layer doesn't really cut much off, but they did a pretty good job wrapping the Windows terribleness and making it usable on a handheld controller. I don't know. The power of the Ally is a lot better than the Steam Deck.
Oh,
hey,
sure.
buddy, you don't have to justify your purchases with me, man.
Oh no, I love the Ally. I'm totally happy with that. But
I bought an Xbox
have to,
One at launch and didn't get the PS4. I sided with the Xbox One with the Kinect. So
you got the Kinect too.
You don't got to justify.
How was that Kinect?
It was the worst choice I've made on buying a console right out of the gate. And I was broken in college, so it was a big deal to save up for the $100 more expensive console then. So.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad decision you've made. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Bazite is great though, and you do need to install Bazite or SteamOS on something and start playing around with it because it's really nice having a console-like experience out of a gaming PC because you have a gaming PC, right? And you've probably had the woes, right, of configuration, and
it's one of the biggest things that keeps me from doing it regularly.
Yeah. I've been pretty impressed, but I guess this is a good time to segue, and I'm really interested to hear Gavin's opinion because he alluded to it earlier that he has strong feelings. But the Steam controller, I guess Steam Controller 2, the next iteration of it releases on May 4th. Is that right?
I think that's right.
At a $99 price tag.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm waiting for the pre-order to drop, refreshing the Steam store frantically. No, these guys were ragging on me a lot for being so excited about a controller. But the thing is, it's a controller with trackpads, which means I can finally play cRPGs and strategy games and shit like that from the couch, without any need for a mouse or anything like that. So that is the appeal for me, is actually having functional trackpads, because the DualSense and some other controllers have a pad in the middle, but if you try to actually use that for navigation, it's
I've had friends try to sell me on that being such a cool feature, and I'm like, it's not functional. It's nifty for some things, but it's not a full trackpad experience.
I'll be honest, I actually thought you were kind of being sarcastic, so I'm a little taken aback that you are truly hyped.
I am truly excited. You don't know how many old cRPGs and stuff I've been man, I'm so excited. I got a Steam Deck. That was my entry to PC gaming. That's really all I have. I'm I really want to play this RPG or whatever, and it's they never really thought about anyone ever playing this game with a controller. Try navigating the inventory or whatever.
I guess I thought the Steam Deck had a trackpad on it or something.
It does, yeah. But when I want to play docked, what am I supposed to do, right? So it's for a very niche group of people, but I am in that group, so I'm excited.
Does it work pretty well? If you played a Pathfinder game or something, or
I mean,
fully on the
some games it's literally the only way to play. Some games literally do not have controller support.
Right.
Yeah.
But is it I guess even if it is the only way to play it, is it actually pretty decent, or is it just you're grinding your teeth trying to get through it?
I wouldn't play an FPS or something like that, but once again, those have controller support typically, or gyro or whatever. But yeah, no, for games in which time is not of the essence, or at least you don't need super fast reactions, yes, it's absolutely functional to use the trackpad and use right trigger for left click, left trigger for right click.
That makes some sense. I was ragging on it when I was talking to Matt
terrible.
last week. Yeah,
I hate the way they look.
I specifically like the ROG Ally more because it doesn't have the trackpads. They don't take up so much space, and it can the ergonomics of the controller feel better to me. Because I've never really understood why people were so hyped on the trackpads, because they don't work great for FPSs or anything else. I didn't. With the cRPGs, that makes sense. I can see that.
When you get it, I'm definitely gonna have to come and just feel it in my, because it looks like it would just be weird, because it's all this space is for the trackpads. and then it has the offset sticks, right? Which a lot of people do prefer.
I like the offset,
which is perfectly fine. I mean, I do like the offset sticks. The controller I use for what PC gaming I do is a nicer Xbox controller. I just raised on the on the Dual Shock for the most part.
Gotcha.
And it's not uncomfortable. People talk about their hands cramping and stuff. My hands don't cramp when I play games. I guess I'm just fortunate enough to not have weird, carpal tunnel things.
The sticks are not offset.
They're not offset on it.
They're like DualSense. Like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
gotcha. I thought they were. Maybe they were on the first. I don't know.
Interesting.
But anyways, regardless, I'll need to feel it and check it out just to see what's up. From that perspective.
Did the first one not have sticks? It was just.
I think it had a left stick, but not the right stick. The right stick was replaced by a trackpad.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it looks uncomfortable. I will give you that. But I've watched a few reviews and people have said I've been playing with it for hours. It's comfortable.
Oh.
So who knows? It's probably going to be one of those things where controllers are such a personal preference, and we all have different morphological proportions, so it might not be for everyone. I'm just excited about the opportunity because that's what keeps me from diving into the PC ecosystem is I want to play on a couch, sit back with a controller in my hand. I do not want to be at a desk. I'm at a desk all day for work. So
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I like it on the Steam Controller 2 as opposed to the Steam Deck or the Steam Controller 1. It looks like a very normal controller that has the addition of the trackpads that you can use as you want, but it's like there's nothing off about it other than there's really nothing weird about it. You could still use it and it should be very similar.
I'm sure once you get going with it, if you don't need them, you'll just be able to ignore them. Like the gigantic touchpad that's fucking a pause button on the DualSense. It's like all it's for. It's like goofy to me though. It's just a big pause button most of the time.
Yeah,
pulls up your map.
The map button. But it's so easy to hit.
As long I tell you one thing, fuck controllers with speakers in them.
What are you talking about? The DualSense is so great.
No, fuck that. It's stupid and I hate it.
You're talking about how much you like Returnal, and that game does it great. There's so many little sounds.
Yeah, I don't need the sounds. I like the haptics and stuff, but I don't want all that coming through my controller.
I love it.
So we've got the whole spectrum because I'm pretty neutral on them. I'm not hyped about it. Like you could take it out, I would never give a shit. But
there was a time where they wouldn't let you mute that shit too, or just the volume. And some of the games were so fucking loud with it. Now, I think Horizon Zero Dawn when it first came out on PS4.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there was options to alter it at all, and it would play audio files through the fucking thing, and they would be
terrible.
So loud.
Dude, I love that. It feels like you're right there.
We lived in a tiny apartment though, and I played while my wife was in bed, and it's I'm sorry, the controller's yelling.
It's a robot T-Rex screaming at her. On that same thread, I just want to complain for a second. You've dredged up some memories.
Here we go.
The PS4 controller and its light bar on top that you could not lower
for a long time.
For a long time.
You dim it.
So you're playing at night and it's like orange in your room,
and draining the battery, the already shitty battery on those controllers.
Yeah.
Nintendo and the Switch controllers, they've got it shit figured out with those batteries and the battery life. On the Switch Pro controllers,
honestly.
But then you got a PlayStation. It's like, oh yeah, dude, you entered the game and press start, swap controllers.
Yeah, DualShock 4s were bad.
And at least Xbox is still for the most part just toss the AA's in, brother.
Is it double?
Are they still AA?
I don't think so for the for the ones that come with the consoles, yes.
Yeah.
If you buy the upgraded, I can't remember what the Elite controllers. Then no, they recharge and they do last a while. So
man, the DualSense battery is terrible. It is the best controller I've ever owned, but there is no excuse for the battery life on that thing. Yeah. Especially if you play something like Returnal, and I imagine Saros, it's going to be
it's using all the features, and that controller's just like, kill me.
Got half an hour tops.
All right. Well, I guess we can move on that note. The next thing I've got is the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake was confirmed for July 26th, it looks like. Matt's getting really excited to talk about this. I can see it on his face. I'm not a Black Flag guy, which we can get into, but I'm going to go ahead and pat Matt looks incredulous. He's at a loss for words. I'll go ahead and toss to you.
So Assassin's Creed's a weird one. I've played Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, 4, Valhalla, Odyssey, Origins. I have beat Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
That's the only one.
That is it. I've fallen off of all of them in some form or fashion. There's a lot about them that interests me, but nothing will top being a yidey-didey-die pirate and Mr. Edward Kenway. So one of the things that turns me off from the series a lot has got me is like there's that tie to like the real world stuff, like the back and forth, like you're actually an ancestor of these assassins.
Right.
It's like tied to your DNA and you're like experiencing the story from those. I think through like 3 they had a character named Desmond that it followed and people liked that a lot. I never gave a shit about it.
Oh, I really liked that in 1 and 2.
Yeah, didn't care about it. So, well, he's not in anything after 3, I don't believe. Apparently the stuff where they still tried to make you like working at your desk at Abstergo, the company, all of that shit is they're just wiping it out. You just literally are playing as like Edward Kenway and being a fucking pirate in this remake even, which has me so hyped because you don't have any of the bog down time. It was like literally like going into your desk at work and like doing some desk work for like an hour after you've been sailing the high seas and shooting fucking cannons. And
wait, in the original Black Flag, you did have to go be an Abstergo. Okay, but the remake, they're not.
They're cutting that.
Oh, okay, cool.
They aren't doing the DLC, which is kind of interesting, but whatever. And like the thing about Black Flag is it's like one of the best. It actually probably is, debatably until Sea of Thieves and maybe this Windrose game, which we don't got to get into those, but the best at least single player story pirate game to ever exist. It's so fucking cool from that perspective. And the sailing and ship combat in that is what inspired Skull and Bones, which now that turned out to be a hot fucking mess and a disaster game. But it's so good, and you got like the great, like the legendary ships that you like are trying to upgrade your ship good enough to go fight and take down. And on top of like, it's got an Assassin's Creed story, but it's just so cool to see that come back. And the biggest thing is you get to collect sea shanties, and when you sailing around, your crew's like, "Ay-de-day-de-day, pirate's life for me." You're just like, hell yeah.
I do love a good sea shanty. That'll win me over, honestly. That was, I don't know. I played like not very much of it. This is my like only played it for like an hour game and gave up on it. The juxtaposition of like the assassin stuff and the pirate stuff, and I was like, I don't know, it's not for me, and I stopped playing it. But
that's fair.
People love it though. They say it's the best pirate game, like you're saying. I've heard that.
I've heard people say it's the best Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't really played the series, only the first one, I think.
I agree with. I think the big thing is with Origins and everything forward, except for like Mirage, they got that really heavy RPG, like 300-hour thing going on, like with Odyssey and Valhalla,
but it's like they're all like
Valhalla was out for like 5 years
Ubisoft
before somebody
formula, right?
100%ed it or some shit, you know. But yeah, what'd you say, Gavin? Sorry.
All of them are like using the quote unquote Ubisoft formula, right?
For the most part, but
a bunch of question marks on your map, and
yeah, it just got worse when they switched to like that RPG style.
Gotcha.
I guess.
Wait.
The traditional RPG style or whatever you would think of with Origins and Odyssey and all of those, So
yeah, I haven't played one since, I guess Black Flag was probably the last one I tried, but the last one I like played was Brotherhood, I think. Which, did you ever play the online multiplayer of that? It was kind of awesome.
It was popular, so
it was really cool at the time, and there's never really been a game like it. But
what did you like about it?
It was like playing lethal hide and seek, and you could play with like, you'd be on a team with your buddy, you'd be like a team of 3, and there'd be like 4 other clans of assassins, and it's like you'd have a target. It's like you had to go kill the plague doctor, but like you could blend in with crowds as you do in Assassin's Creed, but it was very real time, and like you were being chased by real people, you know. So it was much more like, you know how like there's some of those social deduction games where you have to kind of play like an NPC, and that's like kind of its own thing, where like trying to walk robotically and look like a bot is very fun, you know. Whereas you don't do that in the normal Assassin's Creed games. You just kind of go into the blend-in zone and you're good. But it was very unique, and I really don't think there's any multiplayer games that have been out like since that.
Among Us?
Yeah, kind of, actually.
Yeah, that's like literally the closest comparison.
Pretty good parallel. Cool.
So...
okay, well, that sounds exciting. I'm looking forward to maybe jumping back in, maybe if the remake looks promising and they're taking out the, I want to say asbestos, Abstergo employee portions. But the next thing looks pretty promising. We've got Blood of the Dawnwalker, had some new gameplay and details revealed. I didn't really know a lot about this until we were looking at it just recently, and it looks very cool. It's made by what is it? Like kind of a splinter sect of the people from CD Projekt Red left the studio to go work on this game, and from what I can tell, it has a lot of the same DNA as those games. Yeah. It's a big open world RPG. It's got, you were saying the combat system's almost kind of reminiscent of Kingdom Come Deliverance.
So yeah,
right?
It looks like it's got some stuff from that vampire game a few years ago where you have like vampire powers. Or maybe if you wanted to compare it to Dishonored, those type of spectral like powers. You're not a vampire in Dishonored though, so that's the thing. I've not played the Vampire Masquerade games to know that comparison either, for sure. If you've got the vampire, I know you have vampire powers in that, and you are a vampire too. But then the melee combat was like you would see an enemy coming in from like the right, and there's an arrow saying like they're swinging from the right, so you need to block and move your stick to the right to block it like the right, which is very similar to the Kingdom Come Deliverance games. But it looked like it just had a 4-directional thing. The Blood of the Dawnwalker only has 4-directional, whereas Kingdom Come Deliverance has like 8 directions or something like that. It's like very heavy. At the end of the day, it's a third-person action RPG. Narrative is going to be a heavy thing. You play as the one character. It's like a vampire tale of revenge, trying to get revenge on, I guess, the vampire that either changed you or what have you. CGI trailers look dope. Gameplay looks dope. It is going to be a long game, though, which I know like are really neither of your big thing, like hanging out through a giant like RPG.
How long
like
are
that.
we talking?
I think they said like 60 to 80 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's
so.
Tough.
I don't quote me on that, but I know 60 is either the top end or the bottom end of that.
I mean, I appreciate them putting out a lot of good content, but that's just so tough. I don't know. A nice tight 20 hour, 25 hours really good for me, but I don't know.
Nice. So yeah, we'll see. But September 3rd comes out on everything, so it's closer than we expected, which is like
okay.
I mean, that's probably like kind of the last release date that people are going to be picking is that early September frame before they try to get out of the GTA way. I don't know. It's weird. Like everybody, like so many people like GTA, even people that like.
Yeah.
Are you guys big into GTA?
I actually have bought like every GT. Well, there's only been like one since I've been an adult.
Have everything. So
that doesn't.
Yeah, I've played it like from 3 forward. I've played through every campaign of every GTA game.
I've never really played.
I don't give a shit about online.
See, I'm the opposite. I did not really play the campaigns, but I played a lot of GTA Online. Got to the point where I was like,
"Bet you did."
Oh, I did.
You one of the griefers?
Well, no, I was getting grief though. I mean, I got to the point where I was like taking my giant jet and I was moving like, $2 million of drugs across the map, and it's like if you get fucked in this 30-minute window, it's like you lose everything, but you're gonna be rich if you don't,
Jesus,
God, the online's so good, and we're gonna play it when it comes out. if 6 is just as good. What about you, Gavin? You're a GTA guy?
I'm not, man. It's one of those things. I feel like a crazy person when I say that I don't like GTA, and everyone's like, it's the best series ever. I mean, I loved it when I was like 15.
Okay, there
right?
you go.
Or earlier than that. I remember playing them in like middle school. Like I think it was San Andreas with my buddy, and it would be like you just put in cheat codes and you get the rocket launcher and you just have a last stand. Like that was fun for me. I can imagine the multiplayer is also fun, but the story in GTA 5 did absolutely nothing for me.
The flying cars, the cheat code for flying cars in like the PS2 ones like San Andreas and Liberty City or Vice City. Oh man, I don't know why I loved that so much. Just give me a flying car game. Anybody's a developer out there?
Hey, we can get you on GTA Online. I had a flying bike. I had a bike that it was very hard to fly. It was totally impractical, but it was like you could activate the jet and it would go for like 10 seconds. So you had to do this up and down, like really aiming your...
That sounds awful.
Oh, it was, but it was very fun. I paid a lot of GTA bucks for it. a lot of grinding, drug selling for that. God. All right, well, I guess moving on from that, I mean, just talking about things come on the roadmap, like what games are out now, what's coming up. Well, we've got a couple. I'm just going to rapid fire them, and then I'm going to let you guys kind of talk about whatever your opinions are. Pragmata has already hit 1 million sales, which is pretty impressive for a new IP. The reviews have been good. I think Matt has some experience with it. Been pretty positive, right?
Yeah. I'll talk about it a little bit.
I said I was going to rapid fire, and then I started talking. Vampire Crawlers, which looks to be the spiritual successor to Vampire Survivors. I thought this looked like really like they took the Slay the Spire DNA and coded it with the items and all the gameplay but game elements of Vampire Survivors. So that's pretty cool. I like...
they added the card system, which is hot right now.
Right, it's very hot.
That could be cool.
So. And then we've got Saros. How do you say it? Is it...
I think everybody's been saying Saros, but I'm pretty sure the developers are calling it Saros.
Okay.
Saros
reviews are mostly stellar, coming in across the board, having an 88 on Metacritic as we're recording this now. I think there's 97 reviews at the time. So that's my rapid fire game segment. What do we got? We can start at the top, I guess. Pragmata, man.
Yeah, so hyped for Saros. We don't have it yet. Obviously, that comes out Thursday.
I didn't realize it was that soon.
And I won't have time to touch it this weekend. I will beat Pragmata tonight, actually. I'm in the last throws on the final mission. I got a little bit before the boss fight. I'll go into details about what we're when we get to what we're playing on that a little bit. And then Vampire Crawlers, actually typically not my type of thing, but I love Vampire Survivors so much, I'm probably at least going to give them the $10 and give it a whirl.
That's fair.
If it maybe it'll unlock something, and then maybe you guys will get your fucking way, and I'll play Slay the Spire with you.
Let's go. So it's Slay the Spire, but with Vampire Survivors branding on top, basically.
Yeah,
just to a degree, but it's like you're navigating through a dungeon. I don't know if that's what you're navigating through.
Instead of like an overworld map, it's like a Doom-looking kind of like first-person navigating a dungeon, but you're still making decisions and getting through. It's like very similar, like choose your own adventure. Like it matters your choices you make along the way. And
you look to the page and then you go, no, I want to pick the other page.
Right. So. I'm surprised you haven't really heard about that, because that seems like it's going to be your shit, Gavin. You really need to check that out.
I'm going to have to get on that. I like the first game. I guess it's the first game. I don't know if it's a series or I like Vampire Survivors, but I don't love it. Like I feel like people are pretty crazy about it, and for me, it's like it's one stick. You know?
Is, yeah.
I don't know. Like it's cool to see how long you can live, but I don't know.
Did you get a run where you like went crazy and went off the road? Like you like
I've gone for like half an hour. I don't know. Can you go?
What?
Can you win?
Yeah. Like at the 30-minute mark.
Kind of a story to unlock.
Every level
through item descriptions.
You can't.
That might have happened once. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you evolve your weapons by having the right combinations, and it's like the whip becomes like the heart whip where you like restore health, and you can beat each level, and then there is kind of a story overarching, right? Like you know more than me. You've played.
What's your favorite weapon? If you could pick any weapon right from the start, what are you grabbing first?
Right from the start, I'd have to think. I remember like early game when I first started playing the daggers and Gennaro were like so good. Having the extra projectile, everything projectile based. So let me think. What
Stinky garlic daddy for me, baby.
No, I'm not a garlic guy.
A garlic
That's crazy.
boy. I love getting the garlic out of the gate.
That's hilarious.
Anyway,
when they put out the co-op mode, I played that a lot, like the local co-op, and I had a friend who was real big garlic head over here.
Dude.
I don't feel like it does enough base damage, and there's no knockback, but it is fun, like leveling it up and just running through the bats and everything.
yeah.
So yeah, we've got those, and then Saros is that's you guys are both hyped for that, right? Are you going to get it, Gavin, right when it comes out?
I don't know. It's one of those things where when it's just a single player game, I sometimes tend to wait. But you always say, it's fun to be in on the zeitgeist.
Oh,
so
I love a zeitgeist.
I don't know. If I get some time this weekend, then I'll probably end up buying it.
Nice. Well, you have to let us know how it goes if you do.
Yeah, I'm
sure my
pre-order's already paid off. I'm like, I got to be Pragmata tonight so I can play.
Okay, well, I guess with that, we can move on to what we're playing and what we're hyped for. I'll go ahead and start us off. I've got a pretty short update, I guess. I don't really have much. I've been playing Rogue Legacy 2 still. I'm in the final area of it now, which is like the hellish area at the bottom of the map. And I feel like I'm getting close to the final boss, which I hear is very, very difficult, and I'm excited to see what that's about. My buddy said he quit the game and never beat the final boss, so
Jesus.
Can't wait to flex on him, because I never
That's the real reason you're doing this.
And then other than that, I don't really have another game I've been playing, but I have a little hobby project I started messing with and now I'm abandoning, which was trying to turn my desktop PC into a Steam machine look-alike, because I have this gaming laptop I've been using mostly anyways. So I was like, I want to put my desktop in the living room, so I just have a ready to go Steam OS like experience ready to go
console,
at any
if you
time.
will.
And I still think that would be super hype. One, I'm having hardware issues, and two, I found out that the Bazite branch of like I guess you'd call it home theater like PCs, Bazite for like just controllers, non-desktop mode, does not really support NVIDIA GPUs. Like
Correct.
AMD GPUs are like wildly more supported with Bazzite, and I did not realize that.
It has to do with like the open source nature of Linux, right? And then
Right.
some of the NVIDIA drivers are not, so they don't play well. I don't totally understand.
Yeah,
but
it seems like that's what I was reading. Like the NVIDIA drivers for gaming aren't well developed, and
It's the shocking development is like you literally were telling me you were going to do this yesterday, so I guess you did a lot of work last night.
I moved quick. Yeah, I was really tired today because I stayed up really late working on trying to get the ISOs written and like writing the PC, and then it was like big warning that was like, do not do this. It's not NVIDIA drivers are not well supported. Don't do this unless you really know what you're doing with Linux and computers. And I was like, you can't tell me what to do. I know how to do.
You're
this.
the guy, man.
I'm the guy.
You know what you're doing.
But I did give up, not even because of that, because I think my power supply was giving out on my computer because it's just randomly like turning off.
Oh.
So I'm actually RMAing it right now. It has a 7-year warranty from Corsair, and they were like, yeah, man, we got you. It's been 6 years, and they're sending me a new one. So
Nice.
shout out Corsair. But I guess on that's really all I have for this week. So I'll go ahead and pass it off to Gavin.
Oh man. In that note, so my wife bought a Chromebook, like a real cheap Chromebook laptop, and I really appreciated the sentiment because we kind of needed just an extra computer around for various things, but it's like you couldn't have picked a worse device. I was trying to get Steam on it today, and I had to basically get a Linux shell. Like there's a Linux development environment that you can basically load, and then I've gotten it working.
Steam on a Chromebook.
It's kind of cursed, but it is possible. There is Google has kind of supported it. It's called like Borealis, Anyways,
Is this to run games natively? What are you gonna play?
Hell yeah.
Doom 2?
we really want to play Slay the Spire co-op, and
I guess that's fair.
there is no couch co-op. Like it has to be over network. So,
Really? Oh.
Yeah, because it's inherently like it would be hard to have it on one screen because you need to see all your cards, right?
Can you not just play on like your PS5 and her play on your PS4? Or
The game is not on PS5.
Oh, is it?
It's only in early access on PC.
Oh.
Eventually, yes.
Slay the Spire 2.
Yeah. Sorry, Slay the Spire 2.
One doesn't have co-op, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So in any event, I was thinking like I think I'm just gonna wipe the Chrome OS and load like I don't know. I was thinking maybe Linux Mint or something, but actually, why not try Bazzite or something?
Now we're talking.
And I'm like, Ryan's the guy for this. Like, I need to hit him up.
You are getting me excited to hear about this.
God.
You have hours of pain and configuration ahead of you, and that's the
But
fun.
like, I kind of need it though. Like, I want to experience that. In any case, what have I been playing? I played. Been playing Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales, kind of a deep cut. I don't know if you guys know anything about this game.
I don't know anything about that.
So, do you remember in Witcher 3 there's a card game called Gwent?
Which
is actually a pretty popular card game. I don't know how competitive it is or anything, but people play it in real life. It's sort of based on that, but it's kind of like a narrative campaign experience where you're like walking around, like you're making decisions and they affect the narrative, but like conflict resolution is usually through like the combat is through card game.
Settle it with the cards.
Yeah, settle it with the cards. So it's kind of like Gwent combat.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just cool. It's easy pick up and play on the deck. I've been really enjoying it. I like the Witcher universe a lot. So I've been playing that. Not much else. How about you, Matt?
I've been kind of locked in more on one game for the most part. I've been really grinding out Pragmata with the little bit of game time I do have in the evening. So. Should have that completed tonight. I'm hoping to wrap it up. Well, I say that as I have to edit, but this week, regardless, I won't touch Saros until the weekend, more than likely Friday night or something like that. But a lot of reviews have said it is a PS2 game in 2026, and I 100% agree with that. You have like these open zones that aren't too huge. There's collectibles, but not too many, and there is the puzzle of getting to them. The nice thing is there are cutscenes, and their story is told through cutscenes. A lot of important and very good lore and details about your characters in the world happen just through them talking as you're walking through a hallway and stuff. So you're still interacting with the game or fighting an enemy, or maybe you finished an enemy, you're riding an elevator really quickly. A few seconds. I love that about it. The thing about it that I don't understand is I will always want to know what the fuck happened to this game to make it take being revealed in 2020 and not released until early 2026. Because I don't understand, compared to like a lot of games, how that is the development cycle or how much maybe was not done. Now, the combat system's super unique, super cool with the hacking and the way that develops and upgrades. There's a lot more guns, a lot more like robust shit in it from that perspective. And you do have like kind of the hub board where you interact with Diana, the little android girl, and your Hugh. From that perspective. But yeah, no, I really like the game. I mean, it's not a 10 out of 10, but it's nothing below like an 8 from that perspective. And it did have me shed once. It was actually kind of funny that one singular tear fell down at a point that I got to 2 nights ago in it. And I was like, man, okay. I hope the ending is not much heavier than that, because I will not be able to recover from it quickly like I did with what kind of happened. So, but it is cute. It is adorable. If you're on the fence about kids, maybe play it, I guess. I don't know. It might get your...
I was about to say, can you safely recommend it to those of us who hate children?
Yeah, I was like, might get your man ovaries going if you're the one stopping it, or vice versa. I don't know. But there's just so much about it that's just so damn adorable, dude. There's just so much like that's cute in it. But then like the stuff that like made me kind of teary, you're just like... Man.
Was it like really sad, teary, or
it was more of like even though she's an
bonding or something?
No, it was definitely more of like a sad. It was just like a very like, oh, the thought of a kid feeling / thinking that way is like heartbreaking.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, so highly recommend. But at the same time, it's nice that there's a demo. I would still say play that demo. I don't know anything to compare that fucking combat system to.
How long have you played? Do you know? Or like,
I think it was just under 12 hours.
Okay.
So I think it averages like close to 15 hour.
Yeah, we're talking
campaign. Yeah. So Ryan could actually get through this campaign. So, and that's really about it. I've touched a couple of things here. Played a little Sunset Riders because I bought it. Right. Played through the first 2 levels just to flex on Ryan. Then I got through 2 levels.
To flex on 5-year-old Ryan.
Yeah. So if 5-year-old Ryan was here, I would actually tell him to eat shit. So punk ass kid.
He was a punk ass kid. That's hype. I'll have to check it out. That's pretty high praise. I don't know. I don't feel like I tear up at a lot of games anymore. So I mean, do you normally like?
Dude, I'm a fucking crybaby in general.
Okay. So
Like,
not that high praise.
Like before having a kid, I was. After having a kid, whew, I'm an emotional wreck. At least like one day a week in the car. I just look at like his pictures for like 45 minutes. I'm like, oh my god.
So this is just Tuesday for you.
Yeah,
it's
like,
really
there's
8 out of 10 experience.
But games throughout my whole life have been like a really like emotional connection thing for me. Like the easiest place to cry and be upset and just alone in my room. Like, hey, nice. Mom and Dad.
They'll never understand. It's not a phase. Well, that's cool. I'll definitely have to check that out. That seems like it might be up my alley. I guess after that, we can move into the special segment. I'm really excited. I think Matt has some... I don't even know. I don't know what's about to happen.
Matt's sack is sitting right next to us.
He's got a mysterious bag here.
Yeah, and it is intimidating. It's got a PlayStation tattoo on it. It's huge.
So we're gonna kind of go 2 games. So the first game we don't have to keep score for either, but we can if you guys are just feeling competitive. The first game will be very short and quick. So I have a menagerie of bullshit of collectibles and. What is the other preferred term we're thinking of flirting around?
Omnium gathering.
That's a bullshit term. You guys made that up.
We did not.
I do not fucking believe you.
You got it from the Elder Scrolls.
Whatever.
We got it from the deep lore.
So, as a way to, I'm not saying you're uneducated, but also educate you guys on goofy shit. Every now and then, I wouldn't mind playing What's in Matt's Sack, where I will present my sack, and you guys will reach in blindly. One at a time. Fun. Touch, feel, grope, rotate. You can't really smell because you would be able to see it. An item and try to guess what the item is. It could be a game. It could be a console. It won't be anything wet. It won't be anything alive. Okay. And then try to guess what it is, and then we'll reveal what it is and talk about it to some degree.
It better not be alive. Son of a bitch.
Would it be better if it's dead? I did put 2 things in there that should be something you could both guess, and One thing potentially based off of feeling it up. The other thing, if either of you guess it, I'll fucking be the most confused I've ever been in my entire life. And that thing is the thing I'm the most excited for, specifically with Ryan, but I also think Gavin's going to find it hilarious too. So, gentlemen, please, rock, paper, scissors really quick. Rock, paper, scissors, and on shoot. All right, so it looks like Ryan wins. Ryan, would you like to reach into my sack first or let Gavin reach into my sack first?
I guess we both close our eyes.
No, just reach in, feel around.
Just reach in
Tell
and
us
fill.
what you're feeling.
I want to go first.
So there's only one item in there right now.
No, there's 4. Just pick the one, and the one you've got, hold on to, kind of fill it up, and then we'll have you pull it out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
See
so,
how
like,
close.
I'm going to do this. Gavin's not going to blind feel this one, is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Unless you guys think you can, like, secretly pass it to each other without
Well,
looking
I could
in
just,
the bag. Then maybe you slightly touch hands. That'd be kind of funny.
we could do that. That'd be
Okay.
fine.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Touching hands in Matt's sack.
Yeah.
So cute.
Interesting.
I guess don't say. Well, should he say if I'm gonna feel it too? Should he say what he thinks or?
That's a good point. It might work.
Describe it, but don't give a guess yet.
I know what it physically is.
Okay.
Should I describe it or should I let Gavin feel it first?
Yeah, let Gavin give a feel then, because
Okay.
if you know what it is, that's fine. The smirks as you reach into my sack are wonderful.
Yep. I think I know.
All right.
It feels like a cartridge. It feels like this is not N64. Those are more curved, I guess, on top, but maybe original Nintendo. I don't know the deep Nintendo lore, but it feels like a Nintendo cartridge.
All right, Ryan.
I'm going SNES cartridge,
yeah.
and I'm guessing Sunset Riders.
Ryan is correct on both.
Oh, baby.
So Ryan is correct on
Nice.
both. It's super. That is
I mean, so
the
am I, but,
cartridge
whatever, who's
that I
counting?
bought. So, Gavin, you
That's
can
exciting.
do the honors of reaching in for the next item.
Okay.
One item is quite large.
Okay. I know what that is, so let's do something else.
And one item's kind of small, I guess.
Fuck. Okay. It's gonna be hard to know exactly what it is. See, it's gonna spoil too much, but it's obvious that this is some kind of figurine,
Okay.
of which Matt has many, by the way, for our audio only listeners.
All right.
It appears to maybe have some kind of wings or cape, but curiously, it feels like it's only on like one side, so. It'd be weird if it only had one wing. No, maybe it has 2. I don't know.
Ryan, would you like to reach into my
maybe
sack?
a saber or something?
Reach into my sack and give it a feel, Ryan?
Okay. Yeah. Figurine helps. I feel the saber. Yeah. I don't. That's definitely a cape, I feel like. I don't know what else to really go off of, though.
Gavin, what is your guess?
Let's see.
My one hint I will give you is it's a you don't necessarily have to guess the who, but it is a specific type of figurine.
I'll say Star Wars.
Star Wars is a good guess. I'm gonna go. Oh man, I'm gonna go Resident Evil.
I would not let you touch my Resident Evil figure.
Okay, none of them.
Please reveal. It is an amiibo, specifically Sephiroth, the one-winged angel.
So it did have one wing.
So he
I'm not
did
crazy.
have
One
one
wing. That
wing.
was confusing.
Yeah.
I almost said like Persona because like it kind of had I don't know
that-
anime proportions.
that would've
but
Sephiroth got that
All right.
bust.
I would like Ryan to go next, but go ahead and grab that small item
okay.
that's in there. Ignore the big one. Let's save it for last.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Really big. Okay. This feels like another cartridge. I believe I know what system. I don't know if I need to be cagey about it. I don't know.
Gavin, you already felt it,
The
actually, right?
N64 game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This
So-
feels like an N64. I don't
Correct.
have-
Does anyone want to take a game guess?
What would you have played on N64? Everything.
Yeah. Is this something you would have? Can we ask questions? Would it be from your childhood, or is this a collection one that you didn't get until you were older?
No, it's definitely childhood.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, it's
Related to childhood. Think of why I would have put Sunset Riders in there. And then maybe why I would have put this N64 game in there.
Okay. I'm going to go... I'm going to go the gold edition Majora's Mask N64 game.
Incorrect, but not a bad guess, per se.
I don't know what you're getting at other than you're talking about retro games, which is kind of outside of my expertise, if you will. So, I don't know. I'll go with Smash Brothers.
Closer than you might think. So I did Sunset Riders because it was one of Ryan's childhood games, and he mentioned this game, and Gavin said, that's actually in my top 10, but we'll hear more about it when I do my gaming episode. Any guesses now? Super Mario 60.
I'm pulling it out.
You're
sorry.
good. No, Super Mario 64.
Okay.
Super Mario 64.
So
That makes much
Right
more
on.
sense. I
Yeah.
couldn't think of what we had talked about. I was like,
That's
there was
fair.
several N64s. My mind was on like Star Fox, like Zelda, but that is hype. I forgot we both said it was like in our top 10s, and it's very high for you too, right?
It's actually one of the lower Mario games for me,
Oh,
but
okay.
it is.
Gotcha.
I mean, I like all 3D Mario games at the same time.
Right.
So, cool. Now the final item, Gavin, reach in there and just feel that.
There's a sack and a sack.
Yep.
Can I reach inside the sack itself or no?
I'll allow it. Ryan, get a feel of the sack really quick, just to feel around on that.
Okay.
Feel the sack in my sack.
Touch the sack.
Oh,
I don't like when you moan.
okay.
Or maybe I do.
Okay.
All right, now go ahead and try to remove the item from the sack if you would like in there.
Remove it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't flip it around.
Oh, I did not see.
didn't-
I didn't
did
see
not
what
see
it
what
was.
was on it.
We can just go ahead and pull it out. Pull it out of that bag.
Okay.
And just
I mean, it's a
I don't have any
handheld of
guess.
some
No.
sort or
I had no
something.
idea.
yeah, you guys are not gonna have any clue what this is.
Okay.
And it's hype that Ryan has it.
Oh my god.
What are you looking at, Ryan?
I don't even know, man. I'm looking at a monstrosity of a handheld. The Superboy Hyper Beach Edition. Hyperkin. I don't know, man. What is this?
So Hyperkin is the
oh my
brand.
god, does this play?
It is a handheld Super Nintendo.
Holy shit. What?
Oh.
Can I put this in here?
Yeah, you can put it in there
Does it go
facing towards you.
forward?
Yep.
Okay. Oh my god.
And it runs off of a chargeable battery.
Oh.
And the switch is on the top, close to the... You just switch it on there.
That's... Oh my gosh.
And it should
That is
fire right up.
insane.
And then you're getting the Konami thing, and then you hit start, and you should be able to just take off in Sunset Riders portable right there with a couple hours of battery life.
Couple hours. That's...
The technology we didn't know we needed.
So Ryan's Mr. Handheld, I thought I would introduce him to the...
This is unbelievable. This is so cool. Are there other stuff like this for like the GameCube or
There's
like
not.
other random
I have not
consoles?
found
Like-
any. I found some like modded company or whatever that does and did an NES one, and I think there's actually an attachment for that to do NES, but I haven't found anything for 64 or anything for the disc systems. But boy, do I think they need to get on that.
That is crazy.
It is.
I've never seen anything
You know,
like
you know I
this.
got to play with it now.
So, while Gavin's doing that, the other thing I want to walk through is we've talked a lot about prices rising on episodes, kind of about the time we started the show, right? Prices were rising on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So we're going to just talk through some price increases over the years of when consoles released. So the first one we'll talk about is we'll just hit the PlayStation Pro, 5 Pro. It's launched at $699, right? It is now up to $899 brand new, right?
Okay.
Correct.
Games cost anywhere between
US dollars.
$40 and $80. $40 being usually like low tier remakes, collections, $80 being all of the first party
Right.
type of things. We'll skip PS2, 3, all the way back. 1996, the Nintendo 64 released. Anybody got a guess on... We were going to play it Price is Right style, but we'll just have a conversation. Anybody got a guess on what that was, MSRP at launch?
N64, 96?
Yep.
I'm going to go $200.
Ryan? You can guess the same thing for all I care.
Price is Right styles. I'm going $199.
So $199 is what it was.
I thought it was
what I
$199.
meant.
I really...
Anybody want to take a stab at what the inflation price of today's money would be on that?
I'm going to say $1,200.
I want to say
Not that bad.
650, 700.
425, 60.
Oh,
so not
okay.
as bad on that. Game prices were between $50 to $70, depending on if they were primarily
In that-
made east.
in like 96.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So they were a fourth of the console price or higher.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And that inflates today to $149.71 approximately.
Oh man, that's how they made their money.
So the Super Nintendo released in 1991. Anybody want to guess the price on it? MSRP price.
I want to go 129.
129 is a good guess. 91 to 96. I'll go 149.
199 actually.
Oh, same
MSRP
price.
on that too. So in fact, funny enough, just to keep that conversation going, 1985, the NES, the original Nintendo, 199.
Wow.
At launch. So the Super Nintendo releasing in 91, that inflates to roughly $488 today. The NES, that inflates, though, because it's from 85 to $622 today. Now, games on the Super Nintendo ranged anywhere from $60 to $100. You know, more rare titles, or maybe a lot didn't come to the West because they were still kind of picky and choosy about if like cRPGs would be popular West at that time. So some could be up to like $80s, $100. Most games were commonly around $60. So that puts those games at today $245 a game, potentially on the high end.
Okay, on the high end.
On
That's
the high end.
Crazy.
NES, they were 25 to 50. Same reasoning. That puts them around $156 per game.
Wow.
So I just bring that up because we talk about like the console prices and now and all this, that, and the other. So now we'll have the three very fun ones. Neither of you would be able to remotely guess what the most expensive console was at launch unless I mentioned one of them getting a relaunch recently to you. Any shots in the dark at all on an obscure console that you just know the name of?
The most expensive launch?
At launch, yeah. And the launch years for these specifically were 90, 91, and 93 for the ones that actually win this.
Wasn't there like a crazy expensive Sega console?
There was a fairly expensive one, but that's not one of them.
I would take a stab with Dreamcast. I don't know.
All of these are not tied to any of the big companies.
Oh, okay.
Well, one's tied to a big company, but you don't know it for game systems, I guess I should say. So we have the Neo Geo, the Philips CDI, which is the company you would potentially know, and then the 3DO. So the Neo Geo launched in 1990 for a price tag of $649 MSRP. Retail
what?
in 1990.
Oh my god!
It was marketed as the arcade system in your home without having an arcade. So it came with joystick controllers. It was mostly fighting games and arcade games. The games on top of that were $200 to $300 then. So the inflation on the console is $1,682, and the inflation on the game is $777. That's the one that's actually getting a re-release this year. For like $1,000, you can get the console and all 10 of the games.
I bet the fan is going to be excited about that. The one guy who could afford it.
The one man, right? There is the 3DO, which Electronic Arts had their hands in, so you already know it was going to be hot doo-doo shit. In 93, its proposed price was $699. Inflated price is $1,618. Now, the thing that they really tried to like hone in on, it failed horribly, was games were only $8 to $28 for it, which is, you know, roughly $64 today. So they thought if they could get you in on the premium hardware by like saying your software is more affordable, failed miserably. Actually, probably failed the worst out of the three.
Really?
And then there's the Philips CDI, which in 1991, the main MSRP, the most common when they started releasing cheaper models pretty quick, was $799.
What year was this? What did you say?
91.
Oh my gosh.
And that roughly inflates to $1,960. And then games were between $50 and $60, which is about $147 today.
That's insanity.
So we were going to do kind of prices right with that and play kind of a guessing game, but time is, you know, not on our side with that. But how does that like make you? Does that alter your thoughts any on pricing slightly? Does it make you less frustrated? There is something to be said about technology advancing, right? And components are cheaper now today than they were in 1990 and 91. There's the argument, though, of like, do we need to always be pushing the fidelity so far if we can't get the shit to where it's so affordable for the home user, especially when we look at federal minimum wage hasn't rise since 2009 from $7.25 an hour, right? It comes back to, I think, a point we've had about, is gaming a luxury thing? Like
Certainly in 1991 it was.
Certainly for these off-brand consoles, yeah.
Do you think the hubris of those consoles doing that is what allowed Nintendo to actually succeed so hard in the 90s? Because you're looking at $199
It'd be a lot easier sell to your parents. Be like, look, I'm like being so reasonable. This is 5 times cheaper than this.
Because Nintendo existed from like the late 1800s, right? They were a toy company and like also like a lot of magic, like I'm a magician type toys and things of that nature.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's like a very old company, and they made the pivot to games, right? And then that's all they've become since. Well, I mean, they have toys tied to like Mattel shit now or whatever, right? But anyways, I just was curious because we've talked a good bit about price hikes and rising, how that made you feel, because a lot of that is all before any of us were born, honestly, too, with a lot of that. The biggest thing in our lifetime outside of this PS5 thing would have been the PS3's reveal, where it was revealed to be a $600 console, and then they had the wherewithal, or not the wherewithal, the complete opposite of that, to get on stage and say, if people really want this console because it's the best, they'll work 2 jobs. They said that at their E3 presentation.
Nintendo did that?
No, Sony did for the PS3. Yeah.
So I gotta be honest, I thought the PS3 was going to be up there in terms of most expensive consoles. I had no idea that there was such absurdness as a $2,000 inflation-adjusted console.
The inflation, too, based from like 2006 to now is going to be less than what it was from 85 or 91 to
that's
now,
true.
right?
I hadn't thought about that.
So,
yeah. So what you're saying is we shouldn't bitch about games being $70, but I don't know.
I would say to
man.
some degree, but maybe you should also, because you're not getting to own that game anymore. You are reliant on the company keeping the server alive to get the patches to make it allow you to have all of the content. I don't know what is the right answer there. I just curious if does it skew any thoughts? It doesn't do a lot for me. I just like it from the historical perspective of like, holy hell, I could not, even with my current career, which is very good, afford to be the type of gamer that I am. If $800 was what everything, like console, $200 a game, $300 a game, like they weren't coming out at the same speed. I get that, right? But
I mean, I think it just shows how much of the current industry is unsustainable, right? Like, you're not going to be able to buy a $500 box and $60 games and not have microtransactions or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just the reason they've been able to keep prices steady, I think, is because the user base has grown so dramatically since then. In the 90s, it really was more of a niche product. Now, everybody plays, if not on console, then on mobile or PC. So I don't know. For me, the price is it's worth what people are willing to pay for it, right? So I don't know. I want to say that these price hikes are unreasonable. I'm not going to pay $70 or $80 a game, but when you kind of look at it like that objectively, it's hard to defend that stance and hard to say anything other than, well, I just don't want to pay that money, right?
Yeah.
So
which is a valid answer.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think those consoles changed my perspective just because they sound like they were off-brand. They were like, I mean, I guess they weren't at the time. They were the consoles that were out, but being so wildly more expensive than a Nintendo console and outside the realm of what would you'd consider like the mainstream consoles at the time. I mean, I guess they were all mainstream. I don't know. I think it's fair for them to raise from 60 to 70. I've thought for a long time it's crazy that we're still paying the same prices since 2008. When I was buying Halo 3 or Fallout New Vegas or something. Yep. It's just inflation is crazy, and that's how things go, but I hope we don't increase them much more because it hurts, and I don't want to pay much more money than that.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's fair, right? And riding out the Steam sale, it does help now that we're also in an environment where, because of digital storefronts and stuff, you can get things for, if you're willing to wait, not be part of the zeitgeist, the conversations, which those are just more prevalent now because of social media and the internet, right?
Yeah. Kind of, but
then, you can save a lot of money, right?
For sure.
By waiting. It does suck when I have to bite my tongue on a game I want to tell you guys.
That's what I was going to say. It's like I don't really care from the social media angle, but when I'm hanging out with my friends and they're all talking about a game, I want to be part of that combo. That's really the zeitgeist I care about. Is getting to sit and shoot the shit about a game.
That's fair. Cool. Well, that's all I've got. So I'll throw it over to Gavin now to take it away from me and let us know what he's got in his backlog.
The backlog game of the week. Yeah. So I thought about this. There were many games that I pitched to Matt that really pissed him off. He's mad that I'm never going to go back to Control, but maybe I will after we've talked more about it. It had to be none other than Baldur's Gate 3 because it's the best game I've ever put down. And it's just one of those life situations where it's like I can't envision myself picking up the game unless I have like at least 2 to 3 hours free. Because, it's one of those, you got to go back and you be like, well, what are all my what are all the builds? Like, what's in my inventory? What quest am I doing? Why does this person hate me? Why is Gale trying to fuck me? Like, what's going on, right? But I put it down, like, near the end of Act 2. I think I'm really close. I'm, like, at the Night Song part. So I think that's, like, right at the end of Act 2. I'm not totally sure.
Really
Ryan's played a lot, right? So, So you've actually beaten the game?
Yeah.
Like twice, is that right?
I haven't fully beaten it twice. I've really only done one real playthrough, like all the way through, but it was like exhaustive, and did almost everything. Co-op. That's the weird thing about my experience is not a lot of people have played this game in co-op, at least not all the way through. I think that's an exceedingly rare scenario, but yeah, I played the whole thing with a friend, and I played it in like 3 or 4 hour chunks on Friday nights over the course of like 3.5 years. So it's hard to like compare because like I do agree that it's hard without a chunk of time to get into, and even then, I don't know. I put that game as like one of my top. I think I put it on the Mount Rushmore. Maybe I put Divinity. But same difference. It's in my like top 10. But I honestly don't know that I would have played it if I was playing it single player. People love it. It's a great game. I don't know. It's like really well made and there's so much to it, but like I do get a little exhausted at the idea of it being like a single player strap in and take in the story and like figure out all the quests. It's like playing with a friend. It's more of a, I don't know, like a creative exercise, shooting the shit, be like, oh, what's this guy talking about? I don't know. What's his deal? What do you remember what's going on? And we could talk it out and like remember it together. And it was like a conversation. Whereas I feel like it'd be tough to play the whole game single player, but people love it and I love it too. It's just from a different perspective. It's kind of odd. It is kind of unfortunate because I don't know, like it'd be tough for me to be like, you got to get back in there because a lot of people say the third act is the weakest.
That's the one thing I kind of have heard.
Got to see it through though. I mean, the thing is, I can't wait to do a playthrough with my wife, but we also haven't finished Divinity Original Sin. We're at like 150 hours, and it has tested our marriage. Let me tell you.
Yeah, Original Sin 1.
It was 2.
Okay.
Gotcha. Sin. So no, it's a great game, but we're both like kind of micromanagey, so we end up spending just like hours and hours doing like the most trivial side quests.
That's fair. 150 hours is a pretty long playthrough.
Of
DO2.
Well, also there's a lot like with her like. You can't assume no prior gaming knowledge, right?
That's
so
fair.
It's all going to be like, well, I want to use this item. It's like, okay, well, that item's worse. And it's like, but the number is higher. I'm like, yes, but it buffs your warfare. Warfare is multiplicative. Like, the stat is better.
Right. I can't even imagine. That's a pretty tough sell for a non-gamer as your first, like, it's pretty crunchy with, like, the RPG system.
But it has been a lot of fun, though. Like, she's really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to do a multiplayer playthrough of Baldur's Gate, but I'm kind of the opposite where I have to do the single player first because I have to do everything. Like, I couldn't just be that person who's just shooting the shit while, like, we casually missed out on some huge piece of content because we weren't, like, planning for it or whatever.
That's fair.
It's that stupid FOMO brain. I wish I could turn it off more and just be a little more organic at times. But yeah, all that to say, I can't wait to play it multiplayer, but I don't know how long that's going to take.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is tough. If you're trying to be exhaustive in your single player run, that's kind of what people don't like in Act 3 is there's like a lot of side content and there's a lot of like not super compelling side content. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, isn't it one of those where like if you just beeline it, you can beat Act 3 like immediately kind of deal?
It's pretty fast.
It's all filled out through like the side content. I don't know. I've never touched
you haven't played
any of the Baldur's Gates, none of that. No, it's just like the intimidation of how big of a game and from that perspective, I don't know if the way the camera angle is and stuff like that on it also.
Well, if you play it on, it's different on
I don't know if it's
PlayStation
for me.
versus the PC. The PC is like top down,
Yeah.
and PS5 is like a third person over the shoulder type of deal, I think.
Oh, really?
Much more.
I didn't even know
Are you
that
sure
was
about
a
that?
thing.
I know it's different camera angles.
You can toggle to top down
Oh,
on
okay.
either system.
Gotcha.
Like you can do like the tactical view.
But yeah.
Well, but like I'm not talking straight tactical, straight down. There's
Yeah.
like more of an isometric angle
Interesting.
on the PC. I mean, I know by default, I'm pretty sure they're.
Are you sure you didn't
different.
play with one of the camera mods? Because
No, it wasn't with a camera mod.
I've played like it has cross. What do you call it?
Progression.
Cross progression. Yeah. So I've played like on the Steam Deck, then go pick it up on PS5, and it's been exactly
Seamless.
the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I
Honestly,
don't know.
I don't know how that works. I do know there's different camera angles.
That's
and-
not really. I mean, like the camera is like whatever, right? If
yeah.
it's just like a big game, a lot to
It
do
is.
from what I understand, right? I also
Yeah.
really struggle with like hopping into games in like at number 3. Like I have this weird brain where I'm like, I should go play 1 and 2.
Oh, but it's not like related.
whatever.
Right?
Yeah, I
It's
know.
just in
And
the
I-
D&D universe. Yeah,
I know. Or
right.
maybe I feel like I have no knowledge. I've never played D&D, right? I never had any knowledge of that too. So it's
Gotcha.
like, man, I feel like there's a lot of required reading for me.
No, you'd be really
to
fun.
some degree, but I
Yeah.
know there's not because I have several close friends that are super into it as well, and I've got a buddy who would definitely play it co-op with me as if I wanted to go that route. I don't know. I think I've got it wish listed for a deep sale, maybe.
Yeah.
I just know that my backlog's like extensive already, right?
But it's for as much as you love story and characters, like you
Right.
would absolutely love it. I think in
Yeah,
that
that's
aspect.
fair.
It's actually gotten me more into D&D because I've done some like casual games, but I was never like familiar with the systems in a deep way.
Yeah.
But Baldur's Gate 3, it's all basically 5e,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of crazy like playing, like using those rules. You realize how much kind of like modern RPGs as opposed to cRPGs, how much like is watered down, I guess. Like the magic systems are so robust. There's so many different kind of crazy spells you can do, so many different kind of classes and subclasses. So if you're somebody who likes builds, it's just like, it's amazing.
Yeah. And like,
How's the inventory management? Because forced tedium of inventory management does piss me the off real quick and burn me out on a game.
I haven't had any issues. I don't know. I mean, I just send stuff back to camp and sell it when I feel like it. That's the cool thing is you can just, like, when you're out in the world, you can just send items directly to your camp without, like, having to worry about your carry weight or whatever. So
Yeah.
for me, that's a nice quality of life. I know that, like, it's in some, like, actual tabletop games, like, that wouldn't be, like, that's probably a house rule by Larian, right?
Yeah.
what is
Just the fact that you can just send your stuff back to camp. I mean, that's not.
It's kind of weird because like adapting D&D 5e to a video game kind of changes that anyways. Because it's like in 5e you don't have this gigantic. I mean, at least in the games I've played, like we don't have as much loot as you would have in a Larian game. Because like in a
true.
video game, everything you loot has like random stuff in it. And like your DM could do that in 5e, but like I don't have that much stuff normally in my
That's
5e
fair.
campaign, you know. Like I'll pick up a new crossbow or something and I'll sell that next time we're in town. And that's pretty much the only thing I'll have looted that session, you know, until we get back to town.
That's
Whereas
a good point.
with like Baldur's Gate, I feel like, you know, you've got a whole bag full. I will say, Matt, you're asking about the inventory. I know you were very you didn't like Arc Raiders because of the inventory management, but I know Baldur's Gate, I didn't play on controller. And so Gavin may correct me if I'm ignorant here. I know in Divinity the UI changes when you play on controller
It does.
to radial menus, and like it makes it much more controller friendly.
Yeah.
Not a big square chest box where you have to go through it one by one. I don't know. It might not be that much
The
better,
inventory is basically the same, but it's controller friendly. I mean, it would be better with a mouse, but it's nothing like Arc Raiders. Like Arc Raiders was so bad that I was like, I'm never gonna play this game without you guys. Like
Yeah.
the social experience was the only reason for me to play that game.
Fair.
Just because the port is so bad. But yeah,
Interesting.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, we'll see. I do think with how far you are in it that it's definitely worth finishing
yeah.
from that perspective, and it sounds like it's got some stuff that's like got you gripped on it.
Yeah,
I'm
The
on
thought
team
of
finish it.
replaying that though when you have stuff is kind of crazy.
I don't know, but those
Because I thought
games
you
are-
guys were like you're working through that. You've also picked up Stardew Valley together, right?
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of closed the book on that one. Like, at this point, she has started like 3 new farms, and she's just like gone insane with the automation and everything. I'm like, live your best life, sweetheart. Like,
Yeah.
I was holding you back.
Yeah, I would be on team finish Baldur's Gate. I think it's worth it for the co-op experience to go through. Sounds like you'll be the experienced one. I'm reflecting on it now as we're talking, and I'm like, my friend is really into cRPGs, and I'm daunted by them. So I think what ends up happening is he took the reins a lot more, and I get to play it as a much more casual experience where I get to play the systems and make my character and interact with it, but I don't have to stress out about finding all the content because he's very good at that, you know?
Yeah, the other buddy that wants to play with me, he's not, and I'm not, and it would just be grumbly, and he's like in the inventory meticulously. Like, we've played Borderlands together, and he wants to play Borderlands 4 soon together, and I'm actually dreading it because of how much extra time I have to spend waiting for him to go in and manage his inventory. Because he's meticulously looking and comparing everything. Every single insignificant thing. I'm like, I like this type of gun. I want this type of gun. That number bigger? Okay, that number's fine. Right. For the good bit, and then you get to the end game, and I'm like, okay, is it's passive here for that type of stuff? So I just don't know. It would definitely be something I would need to tackle alone, probably. For Baldur's Gate, unless I had a wise sage like you. Had.
You got to find your own sensei to take you through. But I think you should finish it, Gavin, and then you can provide that experience for your wife. That's
there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Got me inspired now. And I will say, close your ears, Matt. I do put lots of extra sacks and backpacks in my inventory for sub organization. I'm like, these are healing potions, these are keys, these are daggers, these are thrown items. Like, I go a little crazy with it, but
that's pretty intense.
You don't have to.
I didn't go that route, but I'm not playing on controller, so it was easier probably for me to navigate. I was on keyboard and mouse. I forgot there's sacks of sacks and containers of containers. It's kind of crazy.
We don't ask how you could fit, like, 15 swords inside
in Divinity 2. There's this
small
thing,
satchel.
If you make a clown car of containers all the way down, and you fill it with everything you ever attain, you can put it on top of people, and it's so heavy it insta kills everything in the game.
That's amazing. That's fun.
But okay, I think we're settled on you should play that game. We're in agreement. You need to finish it, but I think moving on, we'll kind of close things out. I want to say thanks everybody for listening again. Thanks for joining us for episode 4. You can find us on all the social medias now. We've made our first official post. It's big for us. At My Buddy's Backlog is the tag on all of the different social media sites. You can reach us at email at my.buddies.backlog@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you if you have segment ideas, questions, hate mail, anything else. Feet pics. Gavin said, I did not.
Hard pass for me, but we'll forward them to Gavin.
We'll set up an auto reply that goes auto forward, goes right to Gavin. I think that's all for us this week. Thanks again.
Yeah, stay beautiful. See you next week.
Thanks, guys. See ya.